day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with me, Cornish-Knight. Now, I know it's been a few days since I've done an update. My computer had technical issues, so I was fixing them, but hopefully everything will be running a lot more smoothly now, which is excellent. I do know for a fact that I do have some of the lore books that I need to read. I need to read the history of the Deerwood Part 2 and Part 1, and 10 Years of Dawn. This game is all about the lore, so if you're not reading it, you're not really getting the most out of it. So, as that may be, I need to quickly do a quick rest. Some of my guys are a bit beaten up, and I just need to get rid of it. The camping's not allowed in this area. Really?
Can do.
Dang, okay. We may have to actually go outside and quickly camp, which would suck. But I want to go into the next area fully healed and ready to go. When targeting attack, spell the character to move. Right, so we've got to quickly camp. Everyone takes damage reduction. We all settle down for a nice resting break for a couple of hours, or 8 hours technically, until it's midnight. Right. Probably going down a spooky ruined castle in the middle of the night is not the best idea. I believe we talked to her about everything. Yeah. We did. So the weird... Well, basically what's happened was that the statue was found. Well, the throne was found, and then someone died, and the dead woman's spirit was put into it. That's what's happened. Let's keep going. Now we can talk to them. Mother...
Been out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas.
Mother, as you draw near... Sorry, mother, as you draw near, the apparition in the front of you dissolves into an elven woman. Her string hair is tied back, and she tugs at the loose thread of her apron. There's a distant, hollow look to her eyes until she notices you. A frail smile descends like a veil up over her face. She turns from you long enough to produce a basket that, like her, is simmering and semi-transparent, and no complaints. You've got to eat vegetables if you want to grow up strong and be a real soldier someday. Just like we agreed, right? She watches you out of the corner of her eye. What are you talking about? The soldiers are important.
Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father.
She snaps off a shell with a torn fingernail. She crosses another husk between her fingers and thumb. So this ghost is quite disturbed. So what happened to my father?
Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Adra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your father was one of them.
A pod slips through her grasp and she jabs the side of her finger with a jagged fingernail. She says nothing as the skin slowly turns white to red. He was one of the people the Glanfathans killed? That's what I said. Her voice is low and hoarse, and her hand is frozen over the basket, something dark and empty clouding over her eyes.
That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
Damn, that's a pretty nasty story. The fact that the mother's forcing the child to become a soldier for revenge.
Just say the word.
Dang. Right.
Following your lead.
You gotta have your musket out first, so you can get a parting shot off with it, and then we'll go down. NPCs with golden nameplates were designated by our backers. Interacting with them will allow you to get this new experience. Okay, that's cool.
I'm on it.
Uh-oh, what's that? It's a spider. Okay, switch to your melee. Get in there. You smack that. You smack that. We don't need to pop... Nah, not yet. I don't want to put any of the abilities unless we really need to do it, so you can drop that off. Okay. You go after that one. You go after that one. Now you can pop your ability. Smack that one down. You can pop an ability once per rest. His thing isn't active yet.
Just say
Right.
Just say the word.
So there's another spider down there.
Following your lead. Yes?
Excuse me a second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Right.
Yeah.
I thought I could craft something with that, or at least enchant. Something that had spider legs. I mean, I could slay Kith if I could get the Kith slaying, if I could get a decent enough amount of moonstone. Silver trails of slugs gleam inside the barrels.
Not a problem.
Okay. So we're in the dungeon, aren't we? Okay. There's a lot of spiders.
Following your lead.
Right.
Just say the word.
Yeah.
Raised out.
Now we're stuck in. Right, he's starting to sing. Get up here. Ah, wrong person. Right. You hit him. You hit him. You slash that. Right. You attack that one. You attack this one. Gwen Ravenheart will go and pick on this ivory spider. You were going to knock that one down. Switch out to your claymore and you can go swinging with that. Oh, no, it's not a claymore, is it? It's a yeah, a stock. Right. We had to try and keep stamina and health damage to a minimum if we can, if we are able, because we haven't got a lot of health.
Just say the word.
Right. If we could find some more supplies, it would be nice. There's a lot of giant spiders down here, though. Yeah. Right. Shoot that one. You can gang up on this one. Mana missile those two. Slash that one. We'll punch this one down with a sealed bash. Blind this one. Right. Her health is getting a bit low. Yeah.
Following your lead.
I mean, there's no other enemies that I can tell. Why is it still kicking over? Okay, something weird's going on here. Right. I don't know, this game seems to be speeding up quickly for some reason. Are we still... Oh, we're still in combat? That's strange. I thought we'd finished that by now. Oh, we still have these abilities ticking over. Okay.
New orders, Lieutenant. Ready your squad.
I'm on it.
Right, Commander. So we've got another Spectre that we have to speak to. A spectral man arrayed in armour and an officer's cloak sturdy in a single sheet of paper. A spectral man arrayed in armour and an officer's cloak studies a single sheet of paper. You can see straight through it to the Dockle and Hydra insignia on his breastplate. He seems to read over the page several times before looking at you. When he does, his expression is unreadable.
There's been a change of plans. Take your squad and march south all the way to the bow in the river. Bring a wagon team and a dozen barrels of pitch.
His voice falters and he shakes his head. His hands hold paper drops. The hand holding his paper drops to a sigh. Listen.
The instructions come from Admeth Hadred himself, which means they might as well have come from the Duke. We're to burn those hut dwellers out. Set fire to the deerwood so they've nowhere to retreat. Cut them down when they come out. Or let them blaze if they won't.
A ghostly sigh forms a mist in front of his lips as he rolls up the orders into a thin scroll.
It'll make this even shorter than the broken stone war, all right. And we can only hope it'll discourage future conflicts.
His mailed fist tightens around the rolled paper as he looks at you.
I know this is personal for you. It is for many of us. But understand, we're doing this to end this war, not to continue the last one. Remember that we're flushing out the enemy, not burning villages for sport. Bareth will have his work cut out for him tonight.
You feel nothing when his hand drops on your shoulder.
Yeah?
Man, we seem to be continuing the soldier's story. The old watcher. Enter the keep, find mere world.
I've got it.
We'll take those farmers by
Finished.
surprise.
Just say the word.
Almost time. Di and Heather scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now.
An elfin man turns to face you. His cheeks, his forearms, his cartilage of his long pointed ears are smeared in indigo and blue paint. His grin's wicked beneath a thatch of wild hair. What party?
Don't worry. Everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Rio had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one once had said that the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the foreigners desecrated our ruins.
The rewar? The ragged strap of pain and face twisters laughed. You may not like them, but they're still our elders for now. A dead grey tooth peers from beneath his lips. That was clever, drawing the support of the community first. By the time you approached the Riro, they had no choice but to support us. There's no doubt you'll join their ranks one day, so long as no farmer's pitchfork fills you tonight, he laughs.
The tribes need more leaders like you. Women who value deeds over words.
He reaches towards your cheek but stops midway, his splayed fingers quivering. A trauma of doubt runs through him.
You were right. We were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
He drops his hand to his side, drawing a notched blade from his belt. Okay, so it really was someone has caused this to happen, okay. So I used... we picked the lock with our rogue, so that was good.
Just say the word.
Let's get this open.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us!
A large, liver-spotted man, barrel-chested and paunched, cowers in the far corner of the room. His white hair is tangled, stringy mess. He covers his face and chest with a trembling hand, unable to look at your direction.
Maybe we should come back later?
Mutters Elder. Are you Mayorwald? Inquires Gilder uncertainly. He looks up over his hand. The muscles around his eyes twitch and begin whispering to him in sharp hisses as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking. Sudden calmness falls over him. His head tilts forward slightly and he looks you dead in the eye like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice turns suddenly raspy.
Mayorwald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit.
I won't leave until I've spoken with Mayorwald. I'm no spirit. Do I look like a spirit you have seen? I'm a watcher. I've met a woman in Gilded Vale who thought you could help me. Let's go. I won't leave until I've spoken with Mayorwald.
Mayorwald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance, or you'll have me to answer to.
The old man turns his body away in another muttered, spluttering argument facing the wall. When he turns back towards you, he has taken a confident stance and his chest is puffed out like a soldier. New strength enters his voice. Oh god, he's got split personality disorder.
To speak to Mayorwald? Mayorwald whose touch is poison? Mayorwald who knows not his effect?
The man's posture folds and the hand she held strongly at his side a moment ago resumes their original tremors. His voice is feeble and tentative. I was told I am a watcher and you could tell me more about it. And about a tablet of some worth after that, once you two have finished, of course.
A window. Window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Hear and reach into it. Speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, an empath, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I? What the gods wanted of me, thought I.
He exhales feebly, his breath wheezing.
The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged.
With a quick spasm, his shoulders straighten and his voice becomes stronger.
It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners.
He tilts his head forward, glowering at you. His voice is raspy.
Little I knew.
He shrinks down and into himself once more, cradling his face in shaken hands. It seems that you have lost your mind, declares Gwen.
Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening.
Has he taken souls into himself? Afura's eyes narrow as he looks at the man. How could a simple awakening have driven you to this? You mean you remember your past lives? You declare.
Something reminds. Memories stirred. Memories before birth. Other bodies. Other times. Memory. Personality. Identity. Any might resurface. Or all.
So he's basically overcome by his past lives, and you seem to have a conversation with several of them right now.
Ghosts of the mind. Mayorwald has lost control. Mayorwald's body no more.
The spirits I passed, what are they? You declare.
Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Mayorwald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Mayorwald awakened, they could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less.
The spirits are memories from previous lives?
Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Mayorwald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know?
I've seen apparitions like those elsewhere since I've become a watcher. Tears well in Mirrod's eyes. Oh no. No, no, you too, you too. All at once, in spite of his abject misery, expression changes into one of utmost sympathy. Poor woman. Poor woman.
They will take you too.
I knew there was something off about you when I met you, but this sounds serious. You're saying I'll end up like you, Gwen declares.
So fragile, the Watcher's mind. So real, his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep?
He pouts as though holding his mouth closed so the answer won't escape. At length he nods. Why do these past lives still trouble you? How do I tell a spirit from a memory? If I am awakened into a past life, how would that have happened? If I am awakened to a past life, how would that have happened?
You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives. They dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Meyerwald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire and burning wood and screams.
His face trembles involuntarily. So, if your past lives become too dominant, they have so they can almost become reincarnated and take over, it seems. How do you tell a spirit from a memory?
Fragmented are memories, stuck in time, mindless, cruel, never far.
Why do these past lives still trouble you?
My fault. All my fault. Soldier and marauder. Soldier and marauder and Meyerwald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. No sleep. No sleep for the Watcher.
He looks at you, baggy-eyed and lost.
War there was all around. War of stone. War of tree.
War of Tree. Oh, of course, the Broken Stone War and the War of the Black Trees. This was the early period of the Adrian colonization, fighting between the Deerwood colonists and the native Ganlathans. You see, but that was a long time ago.
Death we brought to the settler men. We, the 9 claws. Claws of 9. Worse what we did to the women. For love of the gods. The gods' love. For their love.
I met one of your memory spirits. They were talking of raiding a village. Merwood's voice becomes raspy and he's somewhere else in place and time, speaking to someone unseen.
Hold her down. Head her. Give this Hattie a bit an air that belongs in air Glodfath.
Oh boy. Merwood cringes himself again, watching something he can't bear to see, shaking his head over and over. He wails. Durance. His soul is marked by flame, and those marks will never heal. His trial has broken him. But better than that to live in weakness. Go on, take your time. It's over now. It's long ago. Continue when you are ready. Keep talking. I am enjoying this. You are a monster. You deserve this, even for a past life. Terrible things happen in war. Living with what you're done is your own penance. Yeah, that's good. Terrible things happen in war. Living with what you've done is its own penance. Yeah, that's something that she'd probably say.
The boy. The boy. The baby boy. The boy. Conceived in the raid. Conceived by force. Vessel for marauder. Slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy. Marauder and soldier.
A baby conceived by the raider? What do you mean it was a vessel for him?
For the soul. A marauder's soul. Same soul. One soul. Boy's soul. Marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
Oh boy, I can see where this is going. Basically, then that was his mother I met in the keep. She told me his father was killed. Yeah, basically, see, the mother lied to the son and wanted to use the son for vengeance against against his own people, this is going to go bad. Yeah.
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the Nine Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged. But the gods are just. They have led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn. Light it.
Looks off to his side as someone is standing nearby. Yeah. Olof looks at the old man horror. Bear the Ursa's crooked bane. Marlwold sort of slump, he rocks back and forth, agitated, as mutters to himself, oblivious to your presence.
Soldier and marauder, lies and vengeance, and dead villages. All dead. All dead. What for? What for?
I don't know. Your soul is given to wickedness. The only question is why the gods don't tear it apart. I see no reason, just bad luck. Whatever the reason, I don't think we are meant to know. You speak of in riddles I don't have the peasants to try and understand. Yeah, I see no reason. Yeah, it's just all really bad luck.
How little we know.
There must be some way to make these memories go away, you demand.
No. Always there. Always remembered. Can't forget, can't unsee.
I didn't just remember someone caused this. There were masks and spoke of books and keys and the Queen. There was a man there, he seemed familiar to me.
Keys of lead. Books of burden. Queens that were. Known to me are they. The leaden key.
The leaden key, it seems we share an enemy, Gwen Ravenheart, assassins and watchwakers both. They certainly keep busy. What can you tell me about this leaden key? What can you tell me about this leaden key?
Secrets. Secrets and deceptions and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of watchers. Hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
Who is the queen they pray to?
Woodica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned, binder of oaths and grudge holder, bearer of justice, but whose?
So wait, her crown is shattered and her body went. So is she like a fallen goddess or something? Are they worshipping like a fallen goddess? If the leaden key caused my awakening, could they undo it?
Many secrets do they keep. Unawakened? Mayhap. Who else if not they?
Do you know where I may find the leaden key? The leaden key.
City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen.
I need to go so I can search for this man from the leaden key.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me.
Before you turn to exit, he tilts forward, his eyes lock with yours, cold and dangerous, his voice gravelly. I'm leaving you, confusing me with someone from your past life. I do not have time for this. I will beat you senseless, old man. Take it easy, I'm not going to betray anyone. You are confusing me with someone from a past life, you snarl back.
Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
Oh boy, here we go. Right, so we're straight into combat. What's he summoning? Small wind blight. Small flame blight. Okay. First things first, get the book out. Hit him with that. Run over and knock him down so he can't get up. We're going to blind him as well. You get your musket out and you shoot him for now, first off. Gilda, you get that one. Okay, she can't move. Switch out to that then. And get him. You move here. You move here. And get that off. Keep shooting at him. You get up. Stupid old man, he shouldn't have gotten away. Right. Fire off that. Keep shooting at him. Switch out to that and go and charge. Keep just smacking on him. Right, find the ruins beneath Cad Noir. Gwen Ravenheart, there's a change in air in the keep. What was thick and suffocating feels to you somehow more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Melwood's body lies inert. You feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There is something unique about his soul in this place, a bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable to you. As though even in death the keep knows its former master, and the former master remembers it's his keep. Gwen Ravenheart has granted the speaker to the restless. In your mind's eye, the bond seems to you as a frayed rope, ghostly and alive, and frayed ends, raving like a tidal pool of anomalous, and you find that if you concentrate on it, you have an ability to manipulate the strands. Repair the rope, bind Melwood's soul here as an eternal warden. Sever the rope, allow Melwood's pass from the wall. Draw upon the knowledge of the rope itself, siphoning knowledge from the connection. Let's draw upon the knowledge of the rope itself, siphoning knowledge from the connection. You turn both ends towards you, bringing them into contact with your essence. As you do, the fibers turn to copper, and through them energy is conducted into your being. You are travelled downwards now, beneath the place you stand, seeing places dank and cobwebbed and malignant, like some unintended garden, overgrown with flora and overrun with vermin. Below everything, at the very bottom, you glimpse for an instant some being you can't quite make out, presiding over it all with a brilliant and terrifying power. One image remains in your perception, a circular room with a stone table that resembles the sun, in an area guarded by suits of armour that move on their own volition. It is deep, not far from the very bottom. There is a door to that room, invisible to all but the most fastidious of eyes, and beyond it something similar, something powerful. As the image fades, you find yourself in Cad Noir once more, Melwood's soul nowhere to be seen. Right, so we absorbed the old man's soul. And we got stoic, we got diplomatic, we got rational, and we got honest. Still no hatred or aggressive. I need to kill some more innocent people, to be honest. I think the thing is, once we actually start meeting people that she's not going to like, she's just going to out front be like aggressive or cruel, just out kill people. Like at the moment, she's still got like her mission, which is to find out what the hell is going on. But like once he gets into combat, we will start to like add up on like the cruel and aggressive. So I don't like I should have probably just outright beaten the dwarf to death. I shouldn't have been diplomatic about it. I don't mind the rational, the honest, and the stoic, because that suits a character, but I don't like the diplomatic thing. I should have just beaten him to death. Right. Never far from the Queen, Melwood told me I might find the leaden key in the City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen. It is there I must go if I am to track down the man who triggered my awakening. What other quest? Time and Tide. Kanarua Anamuya, okay. This is one of our companions. Find the ruins beneath Cad Noir. Melwood was too far gone to give us answers. We have to navigate the ruins beneath the keep on our own. Lord of Barren Land, that's to travel to Roderick's Hold and get rid of him. Trials of Endurance. Spend time travelling with Durance. We need to travel more time with him. Fragment of a scattered faith. Bring Edric to speak of Melwood. After telling Edric I'd head to Cad Noir to see its lord and old watcher, Melwood was not in any condition to answer any questions when we found him. Edward will have to decide how to proceed from here, so I need to talk to him. Task against Grain. Report to Tremble. I have not convinced Swear not to threaten Tremble and his family. Tremble will be relieved to hear of it. Oh, I need to go back and basically report. Okay. Dagnabbit, I thought I'd done that. Right, so he's dead. What did we get? Melod's Grimoire, which the mage can have. You found a new Grimoire. Grimoires often contain spells that the wizard may not know. For a small cost, you can learn these spells from the description panel. You may also fill additional Grimoires with different spells. Place them in your wizard's quick item slot to switch them, but be careful. Switching Grimoires will temporarily lock wizards out of spells for several seconds. Okay, a little bit of money. Primal Wind. Right. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to loot, but I do have a couple of books
Just
that I
say the
do
word.
want to read. So, let's get on with it. We need to go The Deerwood Part 1, the early colonial history. No other land has such wild and bloody recent history, from colony to Palient to Free Republic. Or from colony to plantation to Free Republic, the Deerwood has undergone a trial by fire to emerge as a powerful force in the Eastern Reach. Deerwood's history actually began in Adria in 2602 AI. Adria explorers returned from a journey across the ocean with tales of treasure they'd found. They discovered countless ruins scattered through the forest, as well as plains to the north of the trees that would be perfect for growing Volas. There was a problem, however, the locals were hostile and there were potential for conflict. The Foying of Adria, Fear-Corning the First King, knew this as too good an opportunity to pass up and sent more explorers to scout and map the area. Exploration continued for the next 20 years. Small groups of explorers travelled back and forth between Adria and its new world, with a handful of colonists setting up small camps to establish a base for the explorers to work out of. Conflicts with the locals, who the Adrians learned are called the Glanfathans, were rare but frequent enough for the Feyoing to send a small squadron of guards to help protect his citizens. These guards established a central base on the river in the western section of the woods. This settlement eventually became the city of Dayford, upon which the modern-day village of the same name is presently built. That base was established. The first permanent Adrian settlements began north and west of the Bale River. Over the next 3 years, thousands of Adrians made the trek from Adria to this new land. The Glanfathans, who seemed to revere the ruins scattered through the forest, caused few problems with some of the settlements, especially those founded near the ruins themselves. These were easily taken care of by the colonists with help from the Imperial Guard. The Adrians, in order to further their foothold in the area, reduced the cost of production. In an attempt to keep the Glanfathan population under control, started making slaves out of any Glanfathans captured during the uprisings. This resulted in a great increase in tension between the two groups. With the population of the area growing, official government structure was established by the Furkoying. He appointed several earls to preside over the land and assigned them thanes to help run the territories and called this new Glerfam, the Deerwood. The Deer Ford remained the centre for Imperial Guard, but the settlements of the Pearlwood Gulf, New Dunrid was true seat of power for the area. Sitting on the edge of the ocean, foresting fertile farms and rivers that runs the coast of the White March, settlers flocked to the area hoping to establish a name for themselves. Adria began to spread out across the new land. So that book's done. We can put it in our inventory. I want to see what this book contains. Okay, he's got some different spells actually, some really nice spells, and the level 3 spell. Awesome. So, I'm going to put that backup grimoire in his inventory. Right. I need to play her a bit more aggressively and cruel, because she won't get her bonuses otherwise. Indeed. But that's for next time. I'm just thinking how I can do it. For next time, we shall dive deeper into the ruins. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Pillars of Awakening, and welcome back to my channel. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, and I shall see you all next time on the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. Goodbye, everybody.